Welcome to the instructional video on how to calibrate your attachments. Now, calibrating your attachments basically just means how to set up your attachments so that when you turn on the system, they're in the right position to work successfully for the event. So right now, I'm just going to be focusing on the two screws that are connected to the motors. So we have our one servo motor screw here, and that's connected to this one. This motor should be plugged into your receiver so that the motor can move up and down. And then we have another motor down here for the golf event that should open and close so that this ball can go into that and land into this hole, which we're going to do in a couple seconds. To make sure that these things are set up correctly, what we need to do is make sure that everything is calibrated correctly. And you can set that up by calibrating your system to be in the best position for your event and for how you want to drive. So the first thing I want to do is obviously I want to connect the battery. I want to make sure that my wires are in correctly with the yellow wire going towards the center of our receiver. Let me just get the camera in position. So you should be able to see that these wires, the yellow wire is going inward. Now, it doesn't matter whether you're using the older motor system or the newer motor system, these wires coming out of the servo motors are always going to be working. So they're the same motors. So it's the same wires. These yellow lines need to be going inside. If you have them the opposite way and the black wire is going towards the inside of the receiver, it will not work. So please be aware of that specific fact. Once you are set up, once you're done with this, then you'll be able to calibrate your controller. So then at that point, let me just adjust our camera again. Here's our attachment. And now I'll turn on the robot, and we should see the attachment get into a position that's trying to move. Now, this attachment, if you can hear how it's screeching, when I turned it on, this motor immediately tried to go down because its normal position, it's called neutral position, had it going down so that it was inside the table. So once it's going down, it's like pushing against this table. So if I lifted this up, it'll probably go a little bit lower, and it did. And so I don't want that to be the case. What I need is I need this motor to be set up differently so that it's not digging into the ground. So I'm going to turn off my my robot, and then I'm going to take out the screw. And once I take out the screw, I don't need to take it out all the way. I just need to be able to move the attachment, so that it's kind of loose. It's not connected to the motor. And then I'll turn the motor on. Now the motor immediately went into its neutral position. And now since this is loose, I can set it up to wherever I want my neutral position to be and push the attachment into the motor now, and then tighten up my servo screw. And when the servo screw is tight, that is now calibrated. And so you can see that it's actually lifting up off the ground. Well, I set it up so that it lifts up off the ground. And what I want it to do is so that I can lift the ball and I can drop it into a hole, but I kind of have it off the ground so that I don't have to worry about the attachment itself dragging along the ground, and that would definitely slow down my robot because it won't work that way. The other attachment should be able to open and close and set that up. And you can actually also set that up too by using these little, basically they're trimmed. So if I move this, if this is my up and down for my remote, if I move this, I can actually adjust where that neutral position is on the controller and change my attachment a little bit too. So that helps me as well. With the one that moves this in and out, I can, which it happens to be this one here, I can just move this guy over and change it so that when it's at its neutral position, it's actually closing onto the ball. So now I don't even have to hold the remote at all. I'm not even holding the remote at all, and it's holding that ball. I can also adjust my position so that it's higher up, so that it's above the hole. So this way, all I have to do really is just control the car to be over the hole. And then when I get it over the hole, I can release the ball into the hole. And that's how you get a ball into the hole for golf. And that is the conclusion of the video on how to calibrate your attachments to your robots. If you have any questions, please feel free to email me. Thank you.